I am thrilled to be here on behalf of the Research Network and working with Dr. Darity. It has been a long ride since we started a project together on public education. So there is so much to talk about in public education that I couldn't possibly cover it in the kind of time that we have for this, because as each of you know, and most of you probably have experienced either as an individual or with your children, some major issue in public education. You've either been a product and have bad memories, maybe some good memories of a good teacher, but one of the things that I want to concentrate on, since we can't cover everything, is what I consider that we should be paying attention to. And certainly I would love for President Obama and the next generation of education reforms to move toward a more focus on teacher education. Instead of trying to fix the children, let's fix all the problems that keep the children from achieving. Dr. Angel Harris, who many of you know, said, if we keep doing the same thing to raise the achievement gap, close the achievement gap, and raise the opportunity gap, it will take 100 years. And we don't have that kind of time because we're moving fast into a whole new world. So my focus today is on trying to think about a project that we could undertake on a national level that could really quickly reverse some of the trends in public education. And I believe the project that we've been working on for a decade in North Carolina, with recommendations from a commissioned report that Dr. Darity was commissioned to do for the State Board of Education in the year 1998, he focused on a number of recommendations that could help raise and close the gap that exists that keeps minority children and children of poverty out of honors and advanced placement courses and gifted programs. So he put in a lot of recommendations, out of which a nurturing program came about. And the focus on that was to say, let's develop a scholarly program for teachers and for kids. And by scholarly, I mean whatever we do, instead of defining it as an academic scholar, whatever we do for the future, we have to think about getting kids to grow up believing that they have to acquire knowledge for the rest of their lives, that focus on their interest and their work and solving problems. So this is a definition that Bright Idea operates under. So Bright Idea is, now I had pictures in here and they evidently are not showing up, but a picture showing that these children are Title I children in 30 schools that we studied for 5 years. And it's a nurturing program to meet the needs of raising the level of the curriculum quickly, immersing children in background knowledge. And you cannot do that unless you change the dispositions of the teachers to believe that every single child that enters their room has some great talent, some great hidden interest, and it's our job as teachers to find that interest and talent. I have been in this field 50 years, but my very first year of teaching was a Title I teacher in the western part of North Carolina, and my very first class was 12 8th grade African-American boys that could not read. And I quickly found out that these were smart kids. And so the rest of my teaching and administrative career centered from that first year of experience. So when we think about how do we do this, how do we really raise the level of quickly immersing children into high-level curriculum, then we have to focus on specifics. We have taken gifted intelligent behaviors and the gifted curriculum that's usually reserved for the top 3% in the country, and we start at kindergarten exposing children to it. Under the assumption that Bright Idea, the name of our project, transcends all of these issues. While we have them during that part of the day, we do not use these excuses. And so I'm going to quickly just give you some highlights. If you want to know more, I left some brochures, and there are web links that you can get on and view classrooms. You can see a presentation by Dr. Darity and the director of Exceptional Children in North Carolina that talk about the stats, and you can see children actually participating in the classroom. But the main thing that Bright Idea does, it changes teachers' dispositions to believe that all children can learn at the top levels of the curriculum. It helps them develop engaging curriculum to move away from basic skills and memorization. We even have proven that you can do great things with high-end exceptional children and those who have severe mental handicaps. It encourages innovation in the curriculum, and it builds partnerships among all of those that have a stake in the child's education. It is the best differentiated model I have seen in all my years of working in the field. It's a toolbox so that any teacher can take what they learn, and no matter where they go, they will be strengthened to teach at a better level. We believe that this training is at least equivalent to a college year of rigorous level of knowledge and best practices. It's interdisciplinary. It nurtures and engages every child around interests, learning styles, so that you're not leaving any children out in the classroom. And in order to do that, skipping over one here, there we go. This is at the heart of what we train teachers to do that they do not get when they are getting their training. And these ideas have been around about 20 years, but we start with kindergarten children. If you look at the left column, the concepts, universal concepts, are built into every curriculum unit that we train teachers to develop. These units can run 60 pages, and they're filled with best practices, strategies, so that every child in a class can do engaging in activities that get them excited about learning and quickly learning vast amounts of knowledge. It's problem and project-based. One of the units that we do is on Leonardo. The book itself is about a 7th grade reading level. We use this in 1st and 2nd grade to do Renaissance. They can learn art, music, science. They study all the standards from North Carolina's course of study. And then the culminating activity is a debate between Leonardo and Michelangelo. You could actually see this classroom experience in one of the links if you go online. And what's exciting about this is that the kids evaluate on rubrics the debate, and decide who was the greatest creator of that time. And so it's about a 3-week unit that gets kids excited at a very young age about the future of learning for them. And by the way, the moderator could not speak English when he entered kindergarten, but he had a full year of bright idea, and he moderated this panel. These are some of the words that they learn quickly, and they know what they mean. They also do units on planning a whole community. They get involved in learning about everything in a community, how it develops, and then they actually build a community. They name it. They invite the mayor to come discuss what they found out. And if we think about what the data says, we know that 1 in 5 white children are destined to be put in higher level courses and to be identified as gifted. The chances for a Latino or a black child, and most times even children of poverty, it goes up to 1 in 20. We had significant changes in teachers in our research, but the most important change was that teachers finally were convinced that children were not necessarily born to be gifted, that they could acquire all kind of attributes and behaviors, and not to judge that where they were born, their zip code determined their course of action. And we also disproved a lot of the data that they were being told when they went through their experience in pre-service. But the most important data that came out of this, in every class, when we got to really looking at the level of identification for gifted programs, which is very high in North Carolina for the criteria to be identified, in the Bright Idea classes, we identified 3 to 1 children to go into gifted programs at the 3rd grade. So the data is clear. We still have schools operating that are showing this progress across the board. So when you think about it, the training that goes into getting teachers at that level is rigorous. They learn all the best practices. We bring the best trainers, and you can read some of these online and see more in depth. The impact on them is that they become curriculum designers, not just using textbooks to teach kids how to drill and practice every day. And the impact on students has been incredible. They learn thinking skills. They learn the gifted behaviors. 11 of those gifted behaviors take them a long way in developing resilience and giving them the confidence that they need to move up the line and take advanced courses. And number 1, suspension rates, behavior problems disappear. And now we have the big movement toward technology, where everywhere in the world people can get access now to high quality education online and learn knowledge immediately. So we have to deal with that and bring that training into the schools with teachers, so that as we think about education for the future, think about children being born today will live into the 22nd century if we get the health under control. So it's important that we put all of this together and that researchers out there develop new models and find ways to pay for it. These are the web links. They're in the brochure. you can always go to the Research Network at Duke, and we'll make sure that this presentation will be up. Thank you.